always ask all your castmates is why did you want to do $1 Million Island? Did you think it was like a holiday? Do you think it was more like Survivor? Like, what did you think it was? And why did you
Uh,
want to do
I did it, mate, for a challenge. I don't know if you watched the show, but I just like to challenge myself, and I saw it as an opportunity to challenge myself, get uncomfortable.
And then why did you do it, Ellie?
Like the same reason, just to challenge myself and yeah, be uncomfortable, meet people.
So, what did you expect going into $1 Million Island, and maybe like how did those expectations like change?
Um, I expected a little bit more food. But yeah, like everything else was pretty expected.
Did you expect anything different, Mike?
Me, what did I expect? Nah, it was exactly what I expected. Like I thought it was actually going to be worse than what it was.
Oh
So
wow.
I thought, yeah, I thought it was going to be way worse than what it was. So
So
yeah, we had to sleep. We had to sleep on the beach, and there was no showers and all that sort of shit, and no food. But I thought it was going to be way worse than what it was. I was only there for a couple of days, though, mate.
yeah, but you did make a good impression. That's why I'm interviewing you both. So you must have done something
Okay.
good on my podcast.
Yeah, cool, cool.
So you both were fellow log camp members. Why did you choose log camp? Was it kind of like a pack that you both had to?
Well,
We had no choice.
but this is why I wanted you to interview both of us. This is a good opportunity. We can get this out there. So, can you hear us properly, or is the wind like?
Yeah, I can totally hear you fine. It's totally
Okay,
fine.
sweet. All right. So I got the power, as you know, and I'd seen Elly, so we created this little pact already, and we sort of had the pact with Jordan as well. So there was three of us. We called ourselves a power triangle. Yeah, did the power. Yeah, so we had this. There it is. So we're the power triangle. So they held me back, and then everyone just sprinted along the beach. I don't know if you've watched this show. Everyone sprinted along the beach to get the food and that. By the time I got there was nothing left. So I was with Titus, and he's like, "Yeah, man, we can get this." So I just ripped off a bit of timber, and I didn't see where Titus had went to. So me and Elly started walking down the beach. I actually got brushed. We got brushed from
Top camp.
Top Camp brushed us.
They said they had too many people.
They said they had too many people. Then Pine Camp brushed us, and then
the Lone Rangers.
and then Rock Camp brushed us. So I was walking along the beach with this bit of timber. I thought we're just gonna have to start our own camp, the two of us. And then Titus come running out of the bush. He's like, Mike, Mike, and then we end up joining log camp. So it wasn't our first choice. I didn't even know that. I didn't know that what it was called. We were up the end. It was actually our last.
Oh
So
God.
that's how that happened. They didn't show any of that, but that's how that happened.
You can't imagine if log camp was like we don't want you. I don't know what production would have done.
Man, well, the end camp was nice on the sand. Log camp was dirty. There was just a log there.
Yeah.
So obviously on the show there's 100 people, so we don't really get to see like everyone. So going into it, who did you kind of bond with immediately that we didn't get to see like on camera?
Elly.
Oh, us. Oh, yeah. So the stuff. Oh, so who did I bond? Who did I? You go first.
What
Both
was
of
the
you.
question? Sorry.
Who did
What
you
was the
bond?
question?
Who did you bond with like on camera? Like who did you bond with that we didn't get to see that was like a huge relationship?
Oh, besides Mike, there was a girl called Hannah. She was 21, blonde. She was at log camp as well. Just like placid and sort of like didn't chase the cameras around. So like me as well, we were just chilling.
Mike, did you bond with anybody that we didn't really get to see? I mean, we saw you
Oh
make
yeah. So there was obviously Titus and Harry, um, Titus and Harry, and then also Hannah. Yeah. So what they didn't show.
Yeah.
All right. So what they didn't show is that we actually didn't build anything. We had no survival
We were
skills.
lazy.
We're literally on the beach. So Elly slept there. No, I'm not going to tell that. No, I'm not going to tell the snake story. So Elly was here, then there was me.
I was the protector.
Don't tell him that.
You
So
can say
there was
whatever
Elly
you
here, then there
want.
was me, and then there was Titus, like literally Titus, Harry, Hannah, then Cara. Cara. We literally slept just on the sand as like a 5-person spoon. Yeah,
And it was cold at
it was
night.
it was fucking freezing.
Yeah, it looked miserable.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so you obviously get the luck of the wheel. You get number 95, you're captain. Were you both excited
Nice.
about that? Were you nervous? Like, what did you expect?
Hey, so going into it, I actually assumed that there was 99 other people that were very similar to myself that were like, when I won the challenge, I thought I was going to have the whole, everyone asking me, going, put me in, you know, but not one person asked me. So I had to just, no one wanted to do it. I was asking everybody. I was trying to meet people. I'm like, hey, you keen for the challenge? Like, nah. I was asking everyone. The only person I nearly got over the line was, unfortunately, my best one of my mates, Titus. I revved him up so much. He goes, stuff it, put me in. So, because I always knew from the start I was going to put myself in. I was talking to Elly about it. And I knew I was going to put myself up because if I had the opportunity, I was going to take it. But yeah, luck of the draw, and I lost, and then I went home. But I think a lot of people were scared to stay home. They had other reasons. They wanted to be on TV, or I'm not sure. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter, because if that's what you wanted to do, that's great. But my whole purpose for going there was to literally be in those challenges. I didn't really care for sleeping on the beach or any of that. I just wanted to, whatever those challenges were, is what I wanted to be part of.
So I think we actually saw Ellie and you in the ocean talking, and when like you were about to like before you made your nominations, you were like, "I'm thinking of putting myself in," and Ellie's like, "Are you crazy?" So what did you think about Mike putting himself in? Because you did not seem like
I was shocked.
that.
I was like trying to talk him out of it because one, he was like the closest person to me, so I was worried that he was gonna leave. But yeah, at the same time, I was just like, do you like if that's how you want to be, like if that's the game you want to play, then do it.
Yeah, and she was the only one. So she was the only one I was sort of telling my strategy to. I actually didn't know the cameras because the cameras were on me the whole time. I didn't want to give away what I was going to do, give away my strategy. So I didn't realize they actually caught that footage because we sort of walked away. And then she's like, because I sort of hinted to her that I was going to put myself up. And then she's like, you keen? And I was like, shit, yeah, let's go. So, yeah, that's how that happens.
So I know that you said that during the nominations you wanted to take out physical threats, but was there any consideration that you were considering putting up like weaker people? Because
No way. Nah, so I saw an opportunity that I saw it as my opportunity. I won the wheel, and I don't understand what a weak person is. Who's weak? I thought 99 people were strong because they were on the island. So every single person's a threat. But the ones that I looked at that looked for, like Brett, obviously he showed me something that I saw something mentally strong in him because he was asking and telling people how to quit. So he was planting seeds in people's heads. And I knew he wasn't a quitter. So I sort of tried to pick people that wouldn't have quit. And I think I did that. I think I did things pretty good, but I ended up knocking out 5 people that were pretty strong players.
so did Anne actually tell you like if you won the challenge and you were the richest person on the island that you couldn't be like nominated beforehand, or did you not know that like until after the challenge?
I didn't know that at all. So if I had won the challenge, I don't know, that would have been a whole different game because if I won all the money and then I wasn't allowed to go, because whoever won the next wheel spin, if I'd won that challenge, I would have gone straight up to him and said, "Fuck, put me in. I'm ready to go again." But then it said now that Brett's got the 60 grand or whatever it was, he's not allowed to go in the challenges. And I thought, oh man, I wouldn't have been able to handle that just sitting around. I was, like I said, I was there to go in those challenges.
Yeah, there was a lot of sitting around.
Yeah,
a lot of downtime.
Yeah, that's what people tell me that they just want to go in the challenges because they're bored.
Yeah, literally. I personally was super bored.
So I know this is going a little bit out of order, but Ellie, how's that feast after starving for so many days? Like when you're completely miserable and starving and bored and you want food.
Sorry, say that again.
How is the feast when you were starving and
Oh,
didn't have any food?
the first the first feast.
Yeah,
I just ate so much chocolate, I made myself sick.
that's what I
That's
would
like the
do.
one. I like couldn't help myself.
So I guess how frustrating for you, Mike, was the stacking block challenge when you're pretty close, you get the bag immediately, and then what was it like actually like watching the challenge for you, Ellie, and realizing like, okay, this is an actual game and this is the premise of the show, and like I'm here and this is what's happening.
So, to ask you the question, like what? So say that again, mate. Sorry.
So like for you, like how bad was the challenge? And then maybe for you, Ellie, like what was the realization of realizing like, oh, this is an actual game, this is actual prizes at stake? Like what was it like actually like being in the moment, like watching people compete and then eventually realizing that you might have to do that later?
I didn't really mind about like the challenges. I was more upset that Mike had to go home. I was so gutted. I was like just a bit sad because it was the one person that I'd like made a good friendship with. But yeah, like I mean, that's why I was there to throw myself in a challenge.
So then, Mike, how frustrating was that stacking block challenge? Because I think it seemed like it took a while, but how
It
frustrating
did take a while.
was the balance?
So to be honest, I think that was the perfect challenge for me because I hated it so much. So it,
so long.
it took ages, but like if you'd made us go swimming, or if the challenge was like something physically long and demanding, that I would have been okay because I like that stuff. But patience and then having to like be patient to build the blocks was actually probably the best challenge for me because I went there for a sucky situation and that challenge sucked. Even though it looked easy, you just had to you build blocks mentally. You got to the top, then you had to put the diamond one on, and then I got there a couple of times, and then it is what it is. You win some, you lose some, and I lost and I went home.
So do you know why there wasn't a survival challenge for that first episode? Because yours is the only one that
Oh, you just I see what you mean, Ford. No, I have no idea, mate. But I think for me it worked out well because it's even the bracelet thing is I lost, and I lost, and it is what it is. I'll just go home.
did you
But yeah, I didn't even know about the survival challenge till later on because obviously I was already back home having bacon and egg rolls.
did you ever consider giving Mike your bracelet, Ellie, or you were like, I'm winning this?
Hell no.
No, hang on. There was a moment. I had a sea ulcer on my leg, and
She had this huge hole in her leg.
it's like a scar there.
Yeah.
Oh God.
She got this huge hole in her leg that happened. So I did ask Ellie. I said, "Hey, do you want to go on the challenge?" Because
I don't even feel like you needed to ask me.
she gave me the look of like, I'm safe. You're not picking me.
I was like, this is a brilliant start to the game.
But I still asked her anyway because I thought, hey, I want to put strong people in, and if you want to go, let's do it. That's why I wanted Titus. I wanted to make their mindsets of not being because everyone was scared to go in the challenge, and I wanted to try and if I could somehow just make an impact to make people not afraid to have a go, then I would have. I'm happy, but I don't know whether I did or did to achieve that because I was too busy, like I said, on a plane back to Australia.
Oh, I forgot to ask. So going into the island, obviously you have pregame where like you're stuck in that hotel, or at least that's what I've heard with like the 100 people or whatever. But did you have any like did you have any like first impressions of somebody and like how did that change? Like did you get like somebody
You mean in quarantine?
Yeah, so like in quarantine, like when you're like pregame, like during like when you're like just locked up and like you're not supposed to talk to people, but you do. Did you
Well,
have
you know who my roommate was, don't you?
Yeah, it was Titus. Told me.
So I'm 40 Titus is 19, and he's a 19-year-old version of me. So as soon as I walked in, he's doing backflips in the bedroom. Yeah. I think I couldn't have had a better roommate to start with, because we weren't allowed to talk to each other, and to be paired up with a 19-year-old would be a bit daunting for some. But the bloke he's so mature beyond his years. Yeah, he's so energetic, but you can have a conversation to him about
Deep
things, and he's a very switched on young man.
In 10 years, he's going to be.
Yeah, he's going places. Yeah. That kid, he's going places. He's just such a good person, and it took me 1 minute to know he was a good person. As soon as I walked in the room, we bonded instantly, and yeah, his age didn't really come into it. He actually, didn't. It wasn't even it was nothing. I think they strategically matched us up from energy levels. Maybe, I don't know. He was just a good bloke.
Yeah. So I gotta ask, were there any rivalries or love connections that we didn't get to see out on the island? Because obviously there's 100 people, so you never know what can happen.
Did you say like love connections?
Yeah, love connections.
Nah, we don't. Nah.
I mean,
man, it's a pretty feral island. I think if you were going to hook up with someone, you'd go on a different show, not $1 Million Island, because it's pretty putrid, mate. There was no toothpaste, no.
Everyone's stunk.
Everyone's
You really weren't putting your best foot forward.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty putrid, mate. So none of that shit. I don't think no one.
No.
Behind the scenes, none of that stuff happened.
So from your perspective, the first 3 episodes, I feel like, of Log Camp were mainly focused on the rivalry between Carla and Adrian. So what was your view on that? Like, how did that gameplay?
Yeah,
Look, AJ's a massive personality, and I think he's someone that he's got a very overpowering personality. So
yeah, and
he's a lot to take on.
So you got two survival people wanting to be the survivalist, and they're both good at their craft. So Carla knows how to start a fire. Adrian knew how to start a fire, but there's plenty of ways.
There's a lot of ego.
There's plenty of ways to do things. So I think that's where the clash was. They're both good people. Like, I think AJ's freaking hilarious. I actually watched the show and I thought, fuck, I wish I got a bit more time around here. But he's funny as.
Yeah. So then what was that? Oh, keep going. My bad.
That was it.
What was that?
Oh, I was gonna ask, like, was the drama like as bad as we saw, or like how did you deal with it, like, around camp?
So if we'll give you a little rundown. So if this is our camp here, like we're on the beach, log camp's just behind us in there. I wasn't too phased about what was going on behind me. I personally, on my experience, it was a drama-free show for me. I didn't see really any drama. I wasn't part of it. So it was a shock to me to see that stuff because we were too busy just having a laugh. I laughed at it. The whole time I was there, I was having a laugh with the crew that I was around. It's good times.
So I gotta ask, from your perspective, Elly, after you're done eating the feast, you have to go through the first camp challenge. So what was that like for you, actually, like, competing in your first challenge and then winning after just not competing?
Yeah, she got to win one.
It was amazing.
So, yeah.
My seahorse was flaring.
Is that why you quit? Because we didn't really get to see an explanation.
I got medically discharged. So
yeah.
I got cellulitis in my leg and the hole was just like huge. It was just getting quite bad. So yeah, that's why I had to.
She had to bounce.
Leave. Otherwise, it just wasn't going to heal in that climate.
Oh, that makes sense, because the edit just showed that they were like, I'm quitting,
right.
This is my family, and I'm like, that I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, no. I think, yeah, the show, obviously it's very produced in some sense, but yeah, I think there was a few medically discharged that you wouldn't know.
So then why did you give your bracelet to Kylie? Because you said you were close to Hannah. Was there a particular reason why her...
Medically discharged with me. So she wasn't there anymore. And Kylie was just someone that I felt needed like the motivation because she was quite down and out at that time, and she was one of the girls that I connected with most, and I felt as if I gave it to her, that would just like give her like a little bit, of that extra push.
So then, do you both have any like fun stories maybe like after the show? Like what did you do like in Malaysia? Because I heard like a bunch of people stayed for a while. So
As soon as I left the show, I was straight on a plane and straight home. I didn't do anything.
I was getting facial.
Yeah.
well,
Mate, there was no survival challenge for me, and there was no fun back in Malaysia. They kicked me off. I must have smelled or something. I went straight home.
So my last question is actually two more questions. What did you take away from the experience like overall? Maybe like what did you learn about yourself, or like what did you realize?
I realized that you don't really need a lot to survive. Just like in life in general, like there's so many things that you don't really need that you just, I guess, you think you do. And also, just to give things a go, because failing is when you don't give something a go.
And then was there any fun behind the scenes stories that you have like from your time on the island that is like that maybe just like made you laugh or anything like that?
Fun, Brian.
I think just connecting with people, like it was pretty cool.
It's a hyped up.
Everyone's so excited.
Everyone's so amped up. You're in this shitty situation,
all together,
but you're all together. So it's like standing naked in Antarctica and saying that you're cold with a bunch of other people that are naked.
Oh God!
Like that's gonna get you nowhere. So you don't really glorify the shitty fucking situation you're in. You just you make fun with what you had. That's kind of pretty way looking at it. Like we were all there, and it all sucked.
And we all knew what we were signing up.
We all knew what we were signing up for, and no one's situation was better than the others.
I mean, besides everyone else had food, we did.
yeah. But yeah, so apart from that, it was just you had to sort of find the fun and create fun without having the best part. You know what? The best part, so many people enjoyed not having technology from day dot. It was like I think for some handing your phone over and everything would be hard. I don't reckon there'll be one person you'll interview that will say that was hard. Yeah. Everyone wanted to get rid of it.
That's so good.
You were stuck there with no technology on a beach.
I didn't even think about
with a bunch of people. With a bunch of people, like I said, mate, it wasn't that bad. It could be a lot worse. You could be on a beach.
By yourself.
That's shit.